Okay, Ricardo, aka Rose, Ricky Bobby, Ricky. Alright, no. Ricky Martin.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake, baby. So, I'm not sure how many of you guys have ever heard the story of the prodigal son. For those of you not familiar with it, I feel like Ricardo is my prodigal son because we did work together for quite a long time. And
even though he's older.
And then one day he just picked up and he said, "Lou, I had enough of you, bro. I'm out of here. I'm done." It was actually extenuating circumstances that neither him or I could do anything about. But as the fate might have it, he reached out to me one day, and I can tell that he needed help and he needed someone to guide him. So at that same time, we were opening up Culture Estate, and it just felt like a natural fit and perfect timing. So Ricardo came on board not only by himself, but he brought Stephanie with him, and I've been very blessed to have the two on board. But Ricardo is a very seasoned realtor. For you guys who don't know, he's been in this business probably just as long or longer than I have, and he's got a lot of knowledge to share, and he also has a lot of great spiritual knowledge to share. So today I know we'll probably get a little bit of both. So Ricardo, please enlighten us with whatever you have. Thank you.
Thank you for that great introduction. Thanks, that was great, Lou. I appreciate that great introduction. And well, for those who don't know me, my name is Ricardo Quinones. My Facebook name is Ricardo Cesar Quinones Olivera. And you guys call me all sort of names, so that's fine. I don't care. It's fine. Anyhow, well, I guess I'm a little older than most of you guys here.
No.
I guess I am, even though I look younger than some of you guys here. Anyway, so all right. So I was born in Peru. Okay, Peru. Yes, my partner in crime, Lim Bances. I was born in Peru, Lima, and long ago, and I came here in 1987. My family was already here. I mean, I didn't have as much of a hard time as some of you guys did. I heard the stories, and I was like, wow, it's crazy. Well, I went to Elizabeth High School. I went there from the 10th to the 12th. Before that, I went to Perth Amboy for 9th grade. I was in the Botech school. And I learned a lot. And back then I was thinking, oh wow, I could do this. I was very good at whatever I did, whatever I put my hands on, like it was woodwork or electronics or everything. I was good at it, but I didn't have the mentality of what I know about now. I love doing those things, any type of handwork. But then I ended up going to Elizabeth High School, and then I just follow what everyone else does. Go to high school and then go to work and then go to college. And I did that. I don't regret going to college, but if you are going to go to college, I definitely advise for you to go take a career that is medicine or architecture or engineering, but don't go for liberal arts. That's my take on it, because that's what I did. I mean, I learned, the way I take it now is that it helped me break out of my shell. I was very shy. I'm kind of a perfectionist in a way, and one thing that I always try to do since I came to this country was my English, and I didn't want to sound with an accent. I hated it back then. Now I embraced it, but back then I was like, that's why I kept quiet most of the time. I was very quiet, and I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to say much. Actually, in the 9th grade, I was the only kid that didn't speak English, and I thought, they're going to help me out because, they're going to feel sorry for me or whatever. And then, you know what? First semester came, boom, failed. F's all over. I was like, I can't do this, And I got to, make an effort. So that's when I started making an effort. And guess what? I did a lot better than those kids that were born here. I was like, wow, okay, so this is easy. Especially math. I was very good at math here. Back in Peru, I was not that good. But anyway, it was just a whole different world. Anyway, so I went to college and I took liberal arts. I actually went. I took emphasized on broadcasting communications, and I did that for a while. I went to a TV show. I worked there for a little bit, for about a year.
So we have our podcast host.
I worked on the show. And
what was the show?
Ricky Bobby.
Do you want to know?
Yeah. I think you told me. I forgot what it was.
It was Maury Povich, Baby Daddy. I think I've seen one of these guys back in the day, trying to be. Anyway, so I worked there, and I used to think that show was like, wow, this is fake. Like people go here and try to, the topics were ridiculous. I think, just my opinion. But then I found out a lot of people go through a lot of crap, and it's real. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. However, back then I was working at a trucking company, and I was, also going to school. Then I finished school, and then I started working at the show, and I had both jobs. But then I wasn't getting paid much because you still have to pay your dues in the beginning. Like you got to work from the bottom and go to the top. But there was so much competition and so many. You got to know people in order for you to move out in that world. So I decided to stop, working there, and I went back to the trucking company. I was working in corporate, and I worked there for 12 years. That started as a summer job, and then I was there for 12 years, and I was like, wow, I got to do something else because this is not helping me in any ways. My brain cells were just like not doing anything; they weren't working. So I said, I gotta do something else. And so one day in church, I saw a friend of mine, and who I hadn't seen for a while. I said, hey, what do you do for a living? Because I knew he was like, he had a career with AT&T, he got fired, and then he became a realtor, and he told me I'm a realtor. I'm like, oh, that's something that I always wanted to do. What do I have to do? I asked him. He's like, oh, he gave me the name of the school where I had to go to, and the classes or whatever. So he talked to me about it. I was very interested, and then I called and I applied, and then I took the school test. And I didn't pass the first time, but the teacher was nice. She liked me. She was like, you know what, you got to change these answers over here, and then you'll be all right. I was like, all right. So I went back, changed it, and I passed. And then the state exam, I didn't pass the first time around, but the second time I did.
She wasn't there.
And no, she wasn't there. It was already, it was 2004 when I did that. So I started my real estate career in 2004. Now, I wasn't back then I started real estate without knowing what to do. Like, yes, they trained me. Yes, they said, hey, they got me all hyped up. But at the same time, now I know motivation is just temporary. Motivation sometimes is BS in a way. You got to have that drive. And I see that in you guys. And that's something that I want to accomplish as well. I have that drive. However, personally, sometimes I fall back. Why? Because I get too comfortable. When I see Lim, I see Lou, I see the most aggressive real estate agent. I see my friend over here, and Stephanie. And I see you guys. You guys, each one of you, I learn from all of you, but I see the drive, and that's one of the reasons why I came here as well. Before I came to this office, I know I'm jumping all over the place, but before I came to this office, I was at a company in Newark. Great broker. However, I felt like I didn't have the tools. And here, I saw that they were offering tools. And then I saw Lou, and I called him. And I said, hey, I want to talk to you because I see what you're doing. I like what you're doing. And I see this girl that is always talking. I don't know who it is. Who is that? Who's that Spanish girl? Her name is Lim. I want to get to know her. And actually, she was very. She motivated me a lot. Like, I heard what she said, what she read, and I heard a quote that she said. And actually, just to remember, it says it's harder for you to work on yourself than in a job or something like that. So. And I was like, wow, that's very good. And that kind of that attracted me to come here, And I've learned a lot with Lou. Lou's always teaching me, and he's always there to help. And, I bought a house already, with a friend, and Lou's helping me, I already have it under contract. So it's great. This is a new world for me. And you know what, you guys, take advantage. Don't take advantage literally, but take advantage of Lou. He's here to help you, man. And I love this company. I love what it has to offer, not only for us, but also for the community. I definitely love that. Well, let me just finish with this. I'm a very spiritual guy. I believe in God. I believe in a higher power. I believe that He's always if you seek him, you'll find him. He's always there, like with open arms. And all of you guys should just look at the hiring, and basically that's it. All right, guys. Any questions?
Yeah. So you went from not speaking English in high school to having a radio show? Is that what I understood? You went from not speaking English to having a radio show?
Oh yeah, this was in college. I had a radio show. That's one of the reasons why I took broadcasting communications, or communications for that matter, because I needed to learn, and I needed the pronunciation, I needed how to break out of my shell. And part of the world is like, what? They offered me the chance to have a radio show. And I did. I said, all right, I took it. And I was by myself in the beginning, and I did it in English, and it was fine. But then a friend joined me, and then he wanted to do it in Spanish, and it was all right. I didn't mind back then, But then that helped me out a lot. It helped me, my pronunciation, the way of just talking to anyone, It's a little different in radio because people don't see you. You just say whatever. Here they're looking at you, and it's fine. But anyway, yes.
Can you please tell us a little bit about your family, your mom?
Family, yes. Sorry about that. Well, my parents are alive, thank God. They're healthy, and I have 3 sisters. My older sister Patricia, then the second one, and then my sister Julissa and Stella. They're all doing well. I mean, they all have kids of their own. I don't have any kids yet, and
I feel like I want to know a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That was kind of short. I think that was the shortest mastermind yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, this is.
That was the shortest mastermind.
Okay, what do you want to know? Ask questions.
I got a question for you.
Question.
Who is Ricardo?
Well.
Like, can I tell you what makes you who you are? Like, what are?
Well, I'm someone that's always like. First of all, I'm a believer. I believe in Christ, and I am someone that is constantly learning, and I'm full of mistakes. But I'm also in the learning process. Every day I learn something new, and if I don't learn, then I'm gonna learn the next time. But I'm driven to learn more. I definitely am. My mind has changed a lot from when I started the business and where I am now, and where I'm gonna be in the future. I already see like a bright future ahead.
Well, I see you as someone that's very kind and caring.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I get.
You're around a lot.
I know.
I love that. But all jokes aside, you are very kind and caring.
Yes. Thank you for that. I mean, I get that in my Zillow comments. Oh, by the way, yes, I had a client who bought 3 houses with me, and she loved the business, and now so she became a realtor.
I did want to say something about that, Ricardo. I think that all the things that the most aggressive realtor is saying is true, but there is a side of me, Ricardo, that I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit. I feel like you kind of shortchange yourself sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you're very humble and which is not a bad thing, but I think that my experience, if I could share, just mention 3 houses Ricardo sold me, and the reason why I kept coming back to him is because he was always trustworthy. I felt like I could trust him, and that's a really, really big deal when you're taking,
Absolutely.
mortgages, life savings, or anything else to put into properties. And this person is facilitating the entire process. So much so too that I've even referred people because I feel like I can trust him. And again, I think humility is great, but I think sooner or later I hope you pat yourself on the back and feel like
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's nice to hear from someone else as opposed to giving it for myself. I mean, and I those words are very meaningful to me because listening to that is like, wow, it's true. And sometimes it's a little hard for me to absorb compliments, because my mentality, wasn't always the way it is now. It is changing constantly for the better. However, I used to think, the inner voice that you have in you sometimes, in my case, kind of put me down a lot. But that's something that I struggled with in the beginning. and that's one of the reasons why I was so shy. That's one of the reasons why I'm like, okay, you're no good. Your accent, this and that. Don't say anything. It's better for you to stay quiet. And then you know what? That'll get you nowhere. So if you want to move on in life, basically, or just be happy, just get out of all that. And that's what I did.
I'll be honest, your accent, I love it, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, that's some girls say that too. I can say that right now because I'm not married yet, so. Anyway.
Ricardo's coming out.
Any other questions?
I do have a question. You
Yes.
talk about the voice in your head that says things that are not necessarily conducive to a future. How do you deal with that voice?
Wow, you know what? The way I deal with it is, I know it's not true because what I have been able to do now doesn't compare to what I used to believe what that voice tells me. I am very very spiritual, and I read the Bible, and I go to it, and I see that I believe the word is true, the word of God, and God never says anything bad about us. He's always saying, you're blessed. I have great plans for you. You're my son. You're my daughter. I'm healing you. I provide for you. He's always like giving you so many blessings. And I believe the word of God. I was born in a Christian home. I didn't always follow it. But when you read the word, that's more powerful than what my thoughts are telling me. So I either choose to believe or not to believe. So that's that's how I dealt with it. I'm still dealing with it, but hey, here I am. Anyone else?
What's, I guess, the most valuable lesson that you've learned as a realtor working?
As a realtor, one of the most
entrepreneur, I think.
I believe it's just having a good relationship with people. Now you always gotta connect with good people. And I learned that I value that because if I met some realtors, some mortgage reps that are not like good people. However, I'm no one to judge. Because I might have done something wrong in the past. And they might be going through their path, but as long as I can connect with good people right now where I am, that's something that will catapult me to a higher level. And just by helping each other out, that's what I've learned.
Well said.
You had a question?
I have a question here. Someone mentioned that you were in a punk rock band. Is that true?
Well, when I was younger, I was always into rock, and I loved singing, and I was in a garage band.
You can see like a snippet.
Well, my voice was better. I haven't. I used to be like, I used to do a lot of screamo. I used to do a lot of what? I can't do it anymore for now. But I used to do a lot of covers, and I actually started writing my own songs. But when you're younger and these kids were never committed to it, and we broke off. That's basically it. I wasn't in a major band. I wish I was.
Did you write your own stuff?
I was starting to.
Oh, yeah?
I was starting to, and I had because I know how to play the piano, but I was never really good at it. But then I was writing melodies and lyrics. But then people weren't committed to it, so that went away.
Do you have any dreams?
Dreams?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, become Lou Leiva and have Leiva legacy. A very great inspiration. I mean, I think Lou is just a great inspiration. From when I met him, I mean, we didn't really talk as much, and then we started talking a little bit, and then no, I wasn't shy anymore, but he was always busy. I always saw him busy, running around, and sometimes, I saw him working, hands-on. I'm like, wow, this guy does a lot. He does everything, and that's kind of but because sometimes I'm oh, I don't want to ask because I see that they're busy and I don't want to interrupt their what they're doing, but then in previous office where we were, I spoke to him a couple of times, but then I kind of left that office, but than when I saw the videos here, and definitely I'm like, oh yeah. But we spoke before that. I remember we spoke before that, and Luis has been a very great friend, a mentor, and I'm willing to learn from him very much.
Well, what are your dreams though for you? Like, what is your dream? Like,
Well, I wanna. My dreams are to be able to help others. You know, yeah, the business is great. Yeah, it provides. However, you know, if you're only here for the money, you know, you're not gonna get anywhere, because chasing the money is not real. You know, it gives you more satisfaction to be able to help someone who's, you know, on their mortgage behind, or wants to buy, or doesn't know what to do, or wants to invest. And then once you accomplish what that person is coming to you for help for, then wow, that's very, you know, satisfying. You know, that's what I want to do. Like I want to be more satisfied than by helping others. You know, and in the end, that also, you know, rewards me. But I don't want to chase the money, definitely not, because that doesn't get you anywhere. You know, just like be able to help others.
How would you say that spiritual fitness is important in business?
Spiritual fitness, I believe it's important because it always gives you the groundwork of what's right and what's wrong. If you're a spiritual person and you're truly spiritual, not just saying, hey, I believe and that's it. You know, no, it's just that, you know, you got to take conscious of what it is. You know, that lays the grounds for you on what is right and what is wrong. You know, and if you're going to do something in this business that is wrong, you're going to know, wow, it's not right. I shouldn't be doing this, or I should, you know, this is okay. So that spirituality of me is what helped me out. I mean, I'm not perfect by any means. I've made mistakes in the past, and you know, I'm gonna keep making them. However, that's always something that balances me and gives me, like, you know what, this is right and this is wrong. This is what I gotta do, and that's where the spirituality comes in this business.
How can people get in touch with you, Ricardo?
Yes, if people wanna, you know, call me, I am the most the most trusted. My phone number 908-380-5442. My name is Ricardo Quinones. I speak Spanish, hablo español, falo portugués un poco, and speak English very well. All right?
That's it, guys. Anything else? Awesome. Good job,
Okay,
Ricardo.
thank you. Thank you.